releases. And a few years ago, this is a song I wrote about. Basically, I stopped in. What happened is, I'd been dumped. Right, I know. Thank you.
You're too good for them.
Oh. Yeah. But it was just one of those things where so I've been dating someone just, not for long, it was just like a couple of months kind of thing. And then it was one of those things where it just hadn't worked out, and I sort of didn't really know why, you know, and I was trying to work out why, you know, and I was in that phase, you know, where you're talking about it a lot, you know, I was trying to work, you know, I was working it out a lot, I was kind of, you know, confiding in my friends and sort of talking to my friends and really complaining to my friends, and then I started to realise my friends were pretty fucking sick of the story, to be honest. And around about that time, give me a shout if you have small children in your family or in your life or anything. Give me a shout if you've got small children in your life. So around about that time, this was happening in my personal life. My nieces were really, really into the film Frozen. Some of you, I think, can already guess where this is going. But anyway, the point is, I found the film Frozen very philosophically helpful in my time of need when I got dumped by this girl. So I wrote a song about it. I'm going to play it for you now. It's called Princess Elsa Blues. Well, last night in the pub, I realised I was being tolerated, not enjoyed. I saw it there reflected in friends' eyes. I've become the kind of person I avoid. Well, I woke up feeling rough and wondering when my needle got stuck on a groove called you. And as I reached for Alka-Seltzer, the wisdom of Elsa came to me, and now I know what I must do. Because living without you, I've gotten pretty good. Just need to stop talking about you like my friends all wish I would. And I don't understand what happened, but I guess I'll never know. I don't need to go to a palace made of snow. I just need to let it go. Now epiphanies can come from anywhere, from the sunrise all the verses of Shakespeare. But it wasn't Sylvia Plath or Nietzsche that turned out to be my teacher. It was Disney, had the words I had to hear. Because living without you, I've gotten pretty good. Just need to stop talking about you like my friends all wish I would. And I don't understand what happened, but I guess I'll never know. I don't need to go to a palace made of snow. I just need to let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. And all those times I just wouldn't be told. But now I finally broke out this chokehold. And all the times you were cold never bothered me anyway. Because living without you, I've gotten pretty good. Just need to stop talking about you like my friends all wish I would. And I don't understand what happened, just accept I'll never know. I don't need to go to a palace made of snow. I just need to let it go. I just need to let it go. I just need to let it go. By all means, do come closer. There's a bit of a exclusion zone mosh pit being left here at the beginning. At the beginning? At the front, I mean. Thank you very much. I should have said, by the way, I should have said this before the break. If you have got any requests, do shout them out. If they're not my songs, it's a bit rude, but Please Me Naturally isn't my song, but you can be forgiven for thinking it was. I think you can rely on me singing Black Tie. When you've only got one hit, you tend to crack it out over gigs, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I wish I'd never started this. It is my fault. Okay. I mean, it is very much my cup of tea, but it's too many chords and too many words. Okay, well, we give this one a go. Is that? I think that reverb might be back also in the wedge. No? No? Okay, don't worry. Just feeling pretty spooky up here. Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, okay, all right. I will. Yeah, I'll taking some of that feedback on board. One of the things that so obviously, like I said earlier on, I'm a protest singer. I sing a lot of songs about politics, and I get a lot of criticism. You know, I get a lot of flack for that. You know, one of the main criticisms that I get is people saying to me, you know, all you do as a protest singer, all you do is you just preach to the converted, you know. And to those people, you know, I say, those are the only ones that come to the gigs. You know? I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but the Tories are not coming to these shows. And then the other thing they say is like, you know, well, yeah, if you had your way, if you got the socialist revolution you claim to want, then what would you complain about then? Eh? What would you write miserable songs about then? And well, and to those people, I say, there'll always be straight girls. To whom I owe much of my back catalogue, including this song. So at least 2 of you requested this. Both of you got the name wrong. So some points deducted for that. This song is not called Heart First Aid Kit. It is called Cold Waterproof Jacket. But you can be forgiven. It's got a sing-along bit. Are you up for that? Okay, this is your bit. Stopped and it goes like this. Whoa! Do you want me to write that down? Should we go again? Whoa! Whoa! Amazing, cool. And you're going to sing that as loud as you possibly can. We're going to start this together, okay? 2, 3, 4. Whoa! Whoa! Beautiful. One more time. Whoa! Whoa! Well, I was born too late to make a claim to any of these All right, before I had a lot of therapy. That's what happens when you open it up for requests. Oh, gosh. Have you got an IKEA up here?
Yeah. It's got running water as well.
All right. I thought there was only about 3 IKEAs in the country. That's all. I didn't know if there was another one north of Sheffield. That wasn't an insult. There really is one of Sheffield. Stockton, don't turn on me now. Well, yeah, I was a bit concerned when I was writing this album. I was a bit concerned that people didn't know that I'm a lesbian. And so just to clarify that situation, I wrote a song about IKEA, which is a very sacred place for my people. And the song is called IKEA. I guess it's a true story, this. They're all true stories. It's Wednesday evening in IKEA. It's just 2 kinds of people here. And in my life, I've been bugged. The new team's at the starting line, committing to each room design like it was a permanent art. But that's not me. I know these eyes, and you can spot the ones like me for miles. There's no good-natured arguments on text. I have no need to compromise these days. There's no one saying we've been here too long, and I get exactly what I want. It's Wednesday evening in IKEA, and everywhere I look in here, a new team's trying to make themselves match. But those couples sharing meatball tea don't notice all the ghosts like me back here alone and starting from scratch. But spare a thought, but for the grace of ever disassembling shared space. Now there's no good-natured arguments on taste. You know I have no need of compromise these days. There's no negotiations to concede, and I get exactly what I need. What I need. And to those optimistic lovers picking duvet covers, I wish them all the best from the bottom of my chest. And if they follow the instructions, there's no reason their constructions really shouldn't last. But who am I to ask? Because mine all fell apart, and I'm right back at the start, hoping I've not lost any fundamental parts. And I'm sure that I'll remember how it all fits back together, because I know I'm not inadequately skilled. It's just that some things take 2 people to build. It's Wednesday evening in IKEA. There's just 2 kinds of people here, and in my life I have been both. I always feel the need to say, I am fine. I'm absolutely fine. After that one. Yeah, but we've all been there, haven't we, eh? the recently single IKEA trip, the fucking Billy bookcase of shame, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I said earlier on, I started writing songs about politics. When the Tories got into power in 2010, when I was a whippersnapper, and it was a wild time, you know. It was a lot of protests going on around that time. A lot of protests. There was a lot of, you know. Do you remember Occupy St. Paul's? Do you remember that? And Occupy Wall Street, and you know, there was this huge like student-led, well, not student-led, but there was a lot of student. Maybe a little bit more than that. Sorry, split the difference. Is this fun for you guys?
Love it.
It's fun. Thanks. Oh, I've got loads now. We're having a party in the monitors up here. Yeah. No. Anyway, I was living in Sheffield at the time, and I was working at the Students' Union bar, and there was very sort of big political. That was the place that Nick Clegg, do you remember him? It was the place that he promised that he would repeal tuition fees if the Lib Dems were elected in 2010. He made that promise on the steps of Sheffield City Hall. It was a very, it was a very like politically active and fertile place to be, and it was sort of my introduction to like properly kind of being involved in politics and you know going to demos and stuff. Back at that time, there was like a different march every month, and you know, massive occupation in St. Paul's, and I remember thinking like, wow, this is going to be easy. It's going to be over by Christmas, you know. Capitalism's going to fall, and patriarchy's going to fall, and it didn't really work out like that. So this is a song about that I wrote not long after the election in 2019. And it's about, it's called Some Days Are Worse Than Others, and it's about that, really, I suppose. It goes like this. I used to think I'd change the world if I could write a song good enough to make you see the truth. But everything I touch has turned to ruin and gone wrong, and I can't believe the arrogance of you. I know the world is turning when it feels like standing still, or slipping ever backwards by degrees. Feels I'm always dying on the least productive hill, and I haven't even planted any trees. And all I felt, all the pain I ever felt, you know, it never stopped the ice caps from melting. Some days this world makes me hide beneath the cover. Some days are worse than others. Used to think my heart was so reliable and strong, steady neath your feet as frozen For all ice and war, ever steady, evermore, it comes to nothing if you keep in school. Some nights I can answer the charges of those lovers. Some nights are worse than others. I used to think my stories were the place I could be known, told them without having to pretend. Now finally old enough to know that I'm not fully grown, I see that I don't know how they will end. The skins I shed, the roads I tread, the ways that I've fed, they turned me into someone not the same. Some days I feel the anchor of the years that we've shared, but some days I can only feel the chain. And it washes up, it all just washes off. My arms will always be too soft. But I understand, maybe I finally understand, that I might never know just who I am. Some days I still wake up jealous of my brothers. Some days are worse than others. Wonder how we will recover. Search the eyes of friends and lovers for a sign of my true colour. Some days are worse, some days are worse than Thank you very much. I'm going to try and do something new, if that's okay. So yeah, I've really lost count of the amount of times that I've said this in the past year or so. But it's been a fucking bad week to be a woman, hasn't it? Yeah. Jesus. Can I get more vocal, please? It's not stage. That's great, thank you. So obviously, yeah, like I'm sure nobody here doesn't know what I'm talking about, but on Friday, the Supreme Court of the USA voted to repeal Roe v. Wade, effectively banning abortion, which really is something, as low as my expectations have become in recent years, that really is something that I never thought I'd fucking see. I never thought that would happen in my lifetime. And I don't have anything, I don't have any punchlines, I don't have anything to say. I'm just heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, I'm really angry. And you know, like, some people might be angry with me for saying this, but you know, in the past, like particularly in the past 5 years, you know, in Britain I know it's been like really, really bad, but all over the world, like there's been this divide, right, in feminism. There's been this divide. I'm sure that you all know what I'm talking about, right? But there's like two sides in feminism these days, and there's like trans-inclusive feminists, and then there's transphobic feminists.
Those people aren't feminists.
You took the words out of my mouth. Those people aren't feminists. And you know, like, in case you were in any way confused about it, whether or not those people are feminists, you only need to take a look at who the fucking Supreme Court have targeted, right? And there are so many transphobic groups who are aligning themselves with people who fucking hate them. They hate them. They hate women, they hate queer people, they hate trans people, they hate Muslims, they hate people of colour, they hate all minorities. You know, it makes me endlessly sad to live in a time when people who would regard themselves as feminists, to see them getting into bed with people who really will comfort them the moment that it is convenient. And, you know, like, I feel like this is what happens. This is what happens when we fucking take our eye off the ball. This is what happens when we're not united. This is what happens when we're not united on the common goal of trying to keep at bay the people who are always working to take these rights that we have not had for very long away. That has always been true, right? That's always been true. And there are, you know, to this day, like there are people, some of them are very influential people, like look at J.K. Rowling, right? She's made this massive stand in her career. She's taken this time to make this really political statement, you know, about trans people and how they're this massive threat. And the fucking real threat was there the entire time. And look what happens. Look what happens when we stop fighting for each other, when we stop being intersectional, when we stop being a united front. We start fucking losing fast. So anyway, I was thinking about that and I wrote a song about it. And it goes this. Well, Hail Mary, we've been here before, shed these tears and fought this war. The things my mother struggled for, the same wolf at the door. I am might in the Supreme Court, known abusers never caught, snatched the rights for which we fought, and now their word is law. Well, did you never think what we might lose, giving free rein to Fox News, and letting far-right ideologies become normal points of view? We've been warning for some time, the canary in the mine, that when they come for some of our rights, all the rest are next in line. Meanwhile in Texas, all the laws are on their side, just too sexy. So what may always be denied, and who will protect us if we can't find space to unite? As we divide in this debate, another rape survivor flees the state. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die. Well, time and more, things have been the same. Who's in power, who's in pain, and those whose never ceasing aim is taking back our choice. So rule our bodies, rule our lives. Those who'd sooner see their wives be killed than be autonomized, rise up and use your voice. And when you fight for Roe v. Wade, when that frontline stand is made, look around at who stands with you when you need that barricade. It won't be fundamentalists out protesting the word cis. Yeah, when we tear ourselves apart, all the winners are misogynists. Meanwhile in Texas, all the laws are on their side, just too sexy. So one may always be denied, and who will protect us if we can't find The fight for all our lives is coming now, is here and now. And meanwhile in Texas, all the laws are on the side of just two sexes. So one may always be denied, and who will protect us if we can't find space to unite? As we divide and we debate, another ex-survivor flees to stay. As we divide and we debate, and we give space to lies and hate. As we divide and we debate, another ex-survivor flees to stay. Meanwhile in Texas, girls are gonna die tonight. In Texas, girls are gonna die. Thank you very much. So listen, we are rapidly running out of time, Stockton. I'm afraid you may deny the physics of it, but we've still got time for a couple more. So it is time. It's time. We've reached that time of the evening when it's time to talk about the reason that I am dressed this way. Thank you very much. Wow. Some fans of the M&S Boys Age 12 waistcoat range. Something that sounds like a joke, but it's just a fact. So yeah, I wrote a song called Black Tie. Thank you very much. I wrote it a few years ago now. Around that time I was coming up to my 30th birthday, and basically I was thinking back at my life. It took me a very long time to become happy with the way that I am, right? I was unhappy with it for a long time, and by the way that I am, what I mean is that Stockton, what I am is, I'm a butch lesbian, right? I'm a butch lesbian. Thank you. And you know, at the age of nearly 35, I'm happy to say that I'm proud to be a butch lesbian, right? I'm very proud of that. But I wasn't for a long time, for years and years, you know? I was really, because the world really made me feel like there was something wrong with it for a long, long time. You know, we still have very, very narrow categories for what we'll let girls look like and what we'll let boys look like, and we've got very narrow categories for girls and boys in a lot of places, you know, like, and we all know that that's not all there is to it, you know, that gender is a spectrum and sexuality is a spectrum, and I think things are becoming better on that scale, but we've got a long way to go, you know. Definitely when I was a kid, I was just kind of getting this message, you know, from all over the world, that, from the whole world, that this was like not an acceptable way to be a woman or to be a girl, right? And I always knew, I've always been like this, you know, I always knew that this was the only kind of woman I was ever going to be capable of being, really. And I carried that shame around me for a long, long time, you know. And then when I sort of realised that I didn't need to be ashamed, I wrote this song as a bit of a letter to my teenage self. Oh, that's you. Oh, mate. Happy fucking Pride Month, guys, you know what I mean? But it's true, you know, it can be a very difficult thing to be yourself, you know, still. I wish it was easier. But we're getting there, you know? And so I wrote this song about that, and it's called Black Tie. And it's got a line that I'd love you to join in with, if that's okay. You know which line this is? Okay. So, not quite that one. You can join in with all of them if you want. Yeah. So the line is, the images that fucked you were a patriarchal structure. Oh, you know what you're doing, Stockton. So I like to do that as a sing-along where I'm going to sing the first bit and you're going to reply the second bit like this. And the images that fucked you were a patriarchal structure. Amazing. And yeah. I'm going to sing this tonight for a friend of mine who is in the audience tonight. And so when I was 16, I went to my went to my year 11 prom and I wore a dress and it was the worst night of my life, right? And in this song I talk about my year 11 hell, and I'm thinking about that night. It was the worst thing to me, right? And then 2 years later, when I went to my sixth form prom, I was able to go